What do you want? What do you want? Information. Information. We want information. Information. What do you want? What do you want? Information. Information. We want information. Information.
Welcome everybody to the Bandit Show, the BBC licensing TV, reform the BBC. I am now a wanted man, of course. I'm a bandit, a criminal, you know, did not pay the TV license, huh? Senors, senoritas, huh? What do you think, eh? And of course the BBC will come wanting for me, you know, coming to my house and try and sell me a license, you know, which I do not need, huh? So what do I do, folks? What do I do when they come to the door? If they come to my door, I just say, no thank you, we don't comprendo, no, we don't need a license, we don't need a license. Goodbye. What's the Mexican? What's Mexican for goodbye? Yeah. It's on my tip of my tongue. Yeah. What's it called again? It's called. Oh God. What in Mexico they say when you go away? God, can't remember. It will come back to me. We'll do it in a minute. You come back. Yes, it's the Mexican bandit, of course. We're very busy. I just can't remember the Mexican for goodbye. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I couldn't remember. Anyway, as I say, back to the BBC and their great wisdom. And they've actually, in some respects, did the best thing because of all those Hugh Edward things. Jermaine Genus, whatever you call him, Jermaine, the guy in the headlines, you know, the paper about sending text messages. They've actually sacked him and got rid of him, which they should have done with Hugh Edwards, of course. You know, the great Hugh Edwards, BBC top man, top earner. But they kept him on for a good nearly over 12 months or so on full wages, your license fee wages. For no reason, when they could have, anybody else would have been sacked like this Jermaine guy, you know, who's been doing improper things or whatever, breaking rules basically. And when you break rules, you have a contract of employment. Most people do, and you break the rules, and you're basically down the road, instant dismissal. That's how people work. That's how people have a job and they get instant dismissed. That's how it goes, folks. At the same time, the BBC have a record of wasting license fees, taxpayers' money, because they're a corporation. It's not their money they're throwing down the drain, you know. So they'll build like a huge set for EastEnders, which costs 90 million quid. when Coronation did the same kind of thing, they had an upgrade, and they only spent 30 million. You know, because ITV are a more streamlined company, they had to cut costs, and because it's advertisement, it's public. It's not public money at ITV, so they built the set of Coronation Street. I mean, I don't watch the stuff anyway, but at half the price. Of course, the BBC, because it was your money, and it's an endless pit of money, they wasted it all. Well, just paid over the top, you know, bought things that they don't really need, or just spent money like water. And now you can see there, in this clip I'm going to play you now, this clip with which is on Talk TV, as I think this guy was talking, a BBC employee. I'll play it for you now, and you can see how their attitude is. I mean, it's still the same, the way the people who work there, the chief executives and people on the board, that's how they roll, folks. That's how they go. And listen to this now. Listen to it.
It's good. All of these salaries.
Well, that's your choice, but unfortunately, you don't get to go to jail if you don't watch Nigel Farage and you don't wish to pay for it, whereas you do if you don't want to watch Gary Lineker.
I think nobody's gone to jail in the last few years.
That's not true. There's loads of people going to jail every year.
Prove it, Mike. Prove it.
Prove it. Okay. Well, I will. It's always a bad thing to say, John, to me on this programme, because I'll find you statistics before the end of the interview to prove it. There are people getting locked up and prosecuted every single year by the BBC, in their hundreds, and in fact, some of them, most of them, are elderly women.
You tell me the numbers of elderly women who are locked up. You know, in the last.
Well, they shouldn't be locking up anyone. That's the point.
But look, all salaries should be out in the public. Your salary.
Why?
All right, salary. Everybody's salary.
I'm not paid by the public purse. Why should my salary be published?
Because transparency, total media transparency. I mean, how many hotel rooms has Talk not taken up? How many train tickets have you not taken up?
Well, I bet you it's a lot less than the BBC. 235,000.
19,000 people, Mike. 19,000. It's a national broadcaster, you know. But with all due respect, Talk is not a national broadcaster, nor is GB News. Of course, the thing.
No, but we are commercial organisations which rise and fall based upon commercial activity, and the BBC doesn't have to worry about that, and that's why the BBC gets away with so much. That's how they can pay people ridiculous amounts of money for doing jobs which they would never get that money for elsewhere.
Look, I mean, the BBC should be much more commercial. I mean, they have an outfit called BBC Studios, which is where an awful lot of the commerce is done, and they're actually not. You know how much they contribute to the public service purse every year? £300 million, which is peanuts. I mean, their turnover is billions.
Well, you can say that's peanuts, but the people who listen to this show and who watch this show find these numbers absolutely staggering, and find that people get paid as much as they do get paid. They find it quite incredible.
I'm staggered at Farage's payment. I thought it was 600,000 a year, but it's double that. You know,
well, he's a very popular man. You know.
Well, all right. He's getting his market price. So is Gary Lineker.
Well, Gary Lineker's not getting his market price because Gary Lineker gets paid by the public purse and as a
broadcasters, and I'm sure you'll find they'll be offering him a lot more money.
But when you consider the amount of work he does for the BBC, which is to pre-record a programme on a Saturday afternoon, for which he gets paid very handsomely, I think you'll find that whenever he does any other work for anybody else, he gets paid pro rata. So he doesn't get that kind of money because it's a very short amount of time they employ him for.
Mike, don't let facts get in the way of a good story.
Facts, I know you're not keen on facts, being a former BBC man.
Have you found?
Let me give you this. Let me give you the latest person that was locked up, right, by the BBC. A chronically ill grandmother was from West Belfast, jailed after not paying a TV licence. Anne Smith, her name is, from Polglass, was imprisoned after she did not pay a £1,100 court fine for failing to pay for her TV licence.
When was that?
Absolutely extraordinary.
When was that?
It was in the last couple of years.
Was the last couple of years. So how many other grandmothers and old ladies have been locked up?
You should be ashamed, John, that there's even one.
No, I mean, if you don't pay your car tax, you get locked up. You know, if you don't pay your council tax, you get locked up.
But you should not be locked up for not watching television, should you?
No, you're getting a service. You get a service.
No, I can't believe you're not condemning this, John. I mean, we may have to ban you from the show for being completely outrageously ghastly.
Don't cancel me yet, Mike. No,
I have to cancel you unless you condemn this ridiculous
no,
ruling. You're not going to condemn sending an old grandmother chronically ill to prison.
The
You're not going to do that.
license fee is an archaic system, and something needs to be done to bring it up to date. And you know my view. I think there should be a hybrid license fee, 100 quid. You get everything from the BBC, everything else you pay for the other side of the island.
They've locked up, right, since 1995, they've locked up in the BBC for not paying their TV licenses very nearly 2,200 people, 1,444 men, 754 women. Absolutely outrageous.
What's the source of that? That's a false
Full
thing.
fact is the source of that.
What is?
Full fact. Yeah.
Well,
You're going to dispute that as well, or
the BBC doesn't lock people up. It's a
well, they do. They've just locked up 2,100 of them.
No,
You asked me for proof. I've given it to you. Like all lefties, you can't accept it.
Mike, the BBC is not, and they usually get a little fine, right? That figure 2,000.
What else do they start locking people up for? Not watching EastEnders. We're going to punish you for not watching
not
Strictly.
paying the council tax,
Not watching Strictly.
not paying any license fees.
Unbelievable. You're a very bad man, John. You're a very bad man. I can't have this.
See you soon.
See you later. John Mayer, ex-BBC producer, doesn't think that locking up people for paying their TV licence is a bad thing. Amazing. Absolutely incredible.
Gets wasted sometimes. That's the NHS. They do a lot of waste, but they've brought into contact now people who are employed by the company to minimise this, and that's what they try and do. But it's still a waste of money, and everybody, things don't always go to plan, and things have to get, you write some things off, fair enough, but not millions and millions of pounds, some unnecessary things which the BBC are well known for doing, paying for something that they don't need to pay for. But as time goes on, the British public will understand how much money the BBC are wasting on unnecessary things, and it's got to be streamlined and to save money, and they have to do now, because that's why I say that they're losing revenue. Many years ago, they spend money like a drop of a hat. But of course, now there's over 500,000 people a year, estimated 500,000 people each year, and like I say, not paying the licence anymore. The revenue is going down bit by bit, maybe £10 million a month. That's loss of revenue, people not paying, and you're paying for it. I don't pay the BBC. I don't watch. I'm not paying. So people who pay, that's why they can afford to say, well, we got an endless pit of money here, when it used to be like, people paying the licence fee many years ago. Instead of now, there's a lot of people not paying anymore, so they've got to be more careful, because they haven't got this endless pit of money. But they're still wasted. They still waste money all the time. So like I say, this channel, I'm making people more aware what, if you want to become license free, you can be. It's simple, like Inspector C. That's why I say it's a documentation of what I'm license free. If I can do it, anybody can. It's nothing, no big deal. That's the thing about it. It's all documented for you. As I said before, what happens is you can ring them up, get your 2-year exemption, which I have tried on many occasions. I have tried that on many occasions to get my letter every 2 years, and I've done that. And of course, this year, with so many people cancelling the license, I think that rule has sort of gone by the board now with the BBC. They just, anybody who cancels, you get letters, no matter who you are or what you do, and telling them whatever. You just get your letters now. It's coming up to the end of the month now. This month, nearly in the last week of August, and September's going to be another month, folks. Now, since April, I've been getting letters and letters, and it's all documented here, like I told you, to see what happens. And what happens is you get intimidation, letters, stuff like this, all over once a month. They haven't come. They told me they were going to come and investigate me. I'm still under investigation. We're doing nothing wrong. I'm supposed to be a criminal. Yes, I'm a bandit. I'm a criminal. me a criminal. That's what I'm saying. I say in their mind, I'm a criminal. I'm acting against the law, because whether I watch or not, they don't care. All they want is my money each week or each month, as a household cash cow. That's all I am. All I am is an outlet for them to get money to pay for whatever, supposed to be for programs. But as you can see, the BBC just waste it on other things, all the time. So it's an option that you can opt out of the license fee. You don't have to have a television license if you own a television. Like the great Chili John there has gone this way for a number of years, trying to help people understand this. It's a great channel, and the inspiration I've got obviously is people who understand this, have no fear, because the BBC used to run all their operations on fear of people being ignorant of the law or whatever, and getting knocked on the door, and then somebody opens the door, you open the door and say, "Oh, have you got a TV license, love?" Or it's usually housewives like, "Yeah, have you got a license? Can we see?" And so some people who have not paid, or maybe forgot, or not wanting to pay, and they get on the doorstep, they get fined on the doorstep because, I say, "Oh, I haven't paid." "Oh, yeah," or they're watching TV, and somebody comes on the door and they hear the TV license, TV blasting away with EastEnders on or something, or they come unexpectedly and catch you out if you're not paying. And of course, that's what it is. So they can catch you out. So the fear of them coming knocking on your door, it has always been in the background of them with this capita coming round with letters and say, "We're going to visit you," stuff like this. But as I said, if you know what to do, when they come to the front door, you know what to do, folks. That means, "No thank you," when you open the door to them. "No thank you very much, do not require a license here at this address, thank you very much," shut the door and goodbye. Now, they should just walk away and leave you alone. But they'll probably come back again some other time and say, "Yeah, well, we need to check." Well, they don't need to check at all, because you told them, "I'm not watching, I'm not paying," like I do. And of course, if they have to get some evidence that you are watching, then they have to get a search warrant to come in your house and prove all this and take it to court. But without the evidence, they can't do nothing, folks. So evidence is the main thing they need. And if you say something to them unexpectedly, or say, "Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot to pay the license, yeah, but oh yeah, but you don't have to tell them nothing about your circumstances, whether you've got a license or not. It doesn't make any difference to them. All you say, you just don't need one, goodbye, and shut your door. And that is the end of the matter, folks. That's the basic end of it. And like I said, that's the premise and the aim of my channel, to make people understand this. A lot of people do, because obviously the great work that Chili John has done over the years to make many people more aware of it, and that's why I'm doing it, just to prove that it happens to anybody in the street. Anybody in the street can get letters and come in and knocking on your door, and they come knocking on your door. But if you know what to do, that thing in the charter, when it comes up in 2027, it'll be a thing of the past. Door-to-door selling, knocking on doors and trying to demand this and demand, it'll change, because they'll have to go to another way of funding the license, which people will agree to by, like I say, something like the iPlayer, going on prescription. You pay your £8 a month or something like that, something like Netflix organisation or terrestrial television can have adverts, and it's all free to everybody to watch. So you're not going to get fined and be threatened and intimidated with £1,000 fine, that you're a bandit, you're a criminal, reward wanted for £1,000, £1,000 fine, well, that kind of stuff. You're going to be like wanted person, and you're not. You have the choice. We're not living in Russia. We're not a state television. They think it is. They think that everybody's got to pay, and of course, if you're not watching, you're not paying. Anyway, folks, thanks again to all the new people who subscribe to the channel. It's a few people come in, about 10 people this week, was great. I really appreciate all the new people, and any problems you have, let me know, and I'll try and help you. With the experience I've got now, 6 or 7 years, and I've had no problems whatsoever. I may do next month. We'll see what happens next month, because I'm a wanted man, wanted. A criminal, eh? So we'll see what happens next month, because it's come to September, and we'll see what happens, folks. We'll see, and I'll certainly let you know what happens next month. Anyway, folks, thanks again. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now. Appreciate everything. Thanks a lot. Bye now.